Hey there, campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call experts. What we do have is a love for researching and discussing the lore of cryptids, creatures,
and an occasional spooky woman that can eat our soul.
So if you are in need of immediate help with the chupacabra in your yard, please consult someone else.
Also, this podcast isn't for kids. These campfire stories can contain graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for young campers, so listener discretion is advised. Hey campers, my name's Kimmy, and I'm here with my co-host Ryan.
What is up, campers? Welcome back to Aloreing, our folklore podcast where we tell you the history and legends of different folklore and cryptids from all around the world.
Woo, and I am on 3 brain cells right now, so we're gonna see.
Let's go. The less brain cells, the better, I think, when it comes to podcasting.
Honestly, it's so funny, because we have our first episodes we've done together, and we have a few we did before the ones that are published.
Yeah.
And it's the less we care, I feel, the better the episodes are.
Yeah, I mean that's usually true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to try a lot more. That's for sure.
We used to have time to try a lot more. Is a way better statement. we don't got any more time, Ryan. We're holding on.
Who needs it?
So speaking of time, this week, what did you find alluring?
Me and my friends were talking, and we're like, why, when you become an adult, do people stop having sleepovers?
So what kind of sleepovers, Ryan?
Just not like a big group of friends, and just everyone just come over, bring popcorn, and have a sleepover. You know, like a PG sleepover, Kimmy.
Okay,
Get your mind out of the gutter. All right.
No, that's what. Listen, first of all, before anyone comes at me, that's literally what they're called for girls that want a little special something. They refer to them as sleepovers.
An actual
sleepover, okay.
Because everyone, people have parties all the time, you know, but they're like, oh, well, you know, you don't plan on staying over, so you Uber or you get a DD and stuff. No one ever has just everyone's staying here tonight.
Okay.
And we're going to party. And it was a good time. And so we did that this weekend. Okay. And I was up till 5 or 6 a.m., which I don't know the last time I've been up that late or early, depending on how you look at it. Sounds like a
college.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's probably the last time I stayed up that late was college. But yeah, and it was actually really fun.
Oh my goodness! What did you watch a movie? I feel like that's on brand for you.
Yeah,
to watch
we swam for a while. We watched Step Brothers. Did some face masks, which was a first for me. Never done that before.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
this sounds delightful.
It was fun. That's what I'm saying. You know, just a good old fashioned just friends sleepover, and it was a good time.
I love this. I'm here for it, and I support it. Yeah. I think maybe we're just on the same wavelength, because I did. I'm so happy because I want to make this about me now, right? So I did the same thing with my sister-in-law and one of her sweet friends. She's never seen Twilight before, and she was like, she's like, I'll watch Twilight if you want to come watch it with me. And I was like, say no more. So we did a sleepover at their place, and I made mocktails for them, and they were, I called it vampire kisses because it was red with glitter in it.
Love it.
But no, we did face masks and watched Twilight and had drinks and snacks, and I get it. Time. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
You gotta like, what is it? You gotta do themes with it too. That's what makes it fun, Ryan. Your next one, like, do it themed to the movie. Like, if you're doing Jason themed, like, make some like cupcakes with little like knives or something. I haven't seen the movie. Yeah, have someone jump out with a ski mask at one point.
I'm Jason. I'm from the movie. You know the one.
The one you're watching right now? I think that would be great. No, that sounds super fun. Did you do it at your fam's place?
Yeah.
The amazing spot to do it, to be honest.
It is, yeah. A lot more room.
Oh yeah. I was like really, because when I came down for the pirate party a while back, I was like, oh, it's going to be a small house. And I was like, well, I have Giselle there. So at least I could, like, worst case, steal her from her boy and bunk with her for the night, you know?
Yeah. Nah, there's
And then I got there, I was like,
beds.
this is nice. It's like when you came to my family's house.
Yeah, very nice.
It's like, oh, there's so much room for activities. This is delightful.
To be a parent who can afford a house.
Be an individual that can afford a house. Every time I look at the housing market, I'm like, the fleeting dream of reality escapes us all.
I just cry. So, anyway, what did you find alluring outside the housing market this week?
Man, the Twilight movie thing is the only thing I can really think of. Because again, I'm just like on 3 brain cells right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's been alluring in the world of Kimmy. I just did a mega closet clean out, so I have like 2 boxes to donate to the DI. But I think that's nice.
Person living 2 different lives, because I did the exact same thing last weekend.
You know, at the beginning of this year, how you and me had such different goals.
Yeah.
And we've just switched. At some point crossed. You got into astrology and all that stuff, and I got into working out regularly with weights and protein shakes. And I think it would have been too much. It would have been like the Hannibal gorilla situation, you know? So like we've just meshed into one.
Yeah, we've reached a divergence, I think, is what it's called.
Well, the great thing is if I know I'm going to make a really bad mistake, at least at the same time, I'm like, Ryan's going to be making the same mistake right now.
Exactly. So I'm checking our recording thing real quick and make sure I'm using the right microphone, because I don't think I am, which is dope. In our video I am, so like it's fine. We don't gotta restart. We can just rip that. But and I'll pause. There we are, and my bar's actually moving this time. Would you look at that? All right, where were we? All right, here we go. I know,
that's why I was stressing. I was like, I don't.
Well, your bar was, and it was moving, but I was like, those bars don't seem big enough. But here we are. All right, let's clap again. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! Yeah, this will be. I want to put a little technical difficulty screen. Yeah. Where was I? What was I at? I was at vampire alluring thing. Oh yeah, how we've merged into
we've
one
become divergent. Or not divergent. Co-vergent.
Listen, you could say anything right now, and I'd be like, "Yep."
Convergent. That's the word. Convergent.
I was like, "Isn't that a book series from our youth?"
Well, yes, it's also a book series, which is where I got the word from.
You're like, I read in school.
Yeah. Speaking of
You know, no, I can help with the transition. I think the one thing that we haven't quite merged all the way in is the emotional aspects.
Oh.
Okay.
Am I supposed to say, speaking of emotional aspects?
Yeah. Did you read?
I didn't read your parts.
Okay, fair.
Look,
you didn't even read your little
intro
poem.
A sad little boy, and he's emotional, and we're gonna just like us, we're gonna get into the episode.
Cue those campfire sounds.
Oh, you know, there's those campfire sounds going. Slowly strolling in the moonlight, trying to stay out of sight. There's a grotesque crying beast that looks greased. What's sad boy we talking about today?
So, while making your way through the hemlock hardwood swamp, you'll hear the sounds of many different creatures that have made this forest their home. You may even hear the sounds of someone or some creature weeping. Now, if you are scared that this is a weeping ghost kind of situation, do not fret, because this creature isn't terrifying at all. Maybe a little ugly, but not terrifying.
Definitely ugly.
Plus, it is way... it's ugly and it's proud.
Yeah, I relate to this.
So plus, it is way... You're going to love this little guy.
Oh, I'm aware.
I just know it.
Oh, yeah.
This is your next tattoo.
Probably. Contender.
So, it's just put a cowboy hat on it, call it a day.
Anyway.
Ruby wee woo. So, plus, this creature is way more terrified of you than you'll ever be of it. So much so that just walking up to it can cause it to melt into a puddle of its own tears. So this week, we'll be talking about the homeliest creature of North America. This cryptid is known as the squonk and has been part of American folklore since the early 19th century throughout Pennsylvania. And then for all of our amazing audio listeners, if you want to check out this week's illustration, head to our YouTube and you can see it here. I got a good old bottle of squonk tears bottled up. Or you can go to our website, Aloreing.com, and check it out on our blog or check it out on our social media channels. So I really love this one because I think it's quite cute. But where was I? To this day, so back to the story, to this day, the people show much love for this pathetic creature, known to weep and mope around the marshy swamps of the hemlock forest. So, getting into the origins, where did the famous squonk come from? Oral legends of the squonk were commonly told by lodgers throughout the hemlock forest of northern Pennsylvania during the late 19th century. The earliest known written account for this cryptid can be found in William T. Cox's 1910 book, Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods. Not only did this book go into the oral legends told amongst lumberjacks and hunters in the area, but it also gave insight into where this creature came from. The book suggests that the creature had migrated from the desert to the Pennsylvania swamps. This makes sense because logging campers were continuously moving in the early 20th century, and this would explain how the squonk migrated with them to Pennsylvania. So they may have just like hitched a ride and not realize it. And woke up one day and was in Pennsylvania.
Why is this pig crying? I don't know. Throw him with the rest of them, and then bam.
You know, I like to think that so many people were crying having to travel on those damn wagons.
Fair.
That they didn't even... Yeah, they're like, oh, that's just Margaret.
It's just Margaret.
Just a listener.
Margaret.
Classic Margaret. And Margaret isn't even crying. She's like, bruh. So, this written encounter also made its way into the early newspaper articles that ran during January 27th and 28th in 1912. So we got some early American folklore, like True and True, which I think is pretty cool.
Nice.
So, with the Squonk now having a home in the hemlock forest, it wasn't long until the greed of capitalism swooped in and ruined the housing market yet again. I see what mood I was in when I was writing these notes. So, what was once the Squonk's forest home became severely reduced since most of the hemlock trees were lodged by 1915. These trees were torn down for railroads and barrier supplies for the Civil War. Plus, at the time, many believed that the tree resources in Pennsylvania had an endless supply.
Classic.
But as trees got hacked down left and right, the thick forest was no more and soon became marshy lands. This resulted in a dramatic decrease in the Squonk population since they were now unable to hide and survive in the new harsh environment. These sad creatures, stripped of their homes, are now only occasionally spotted in the area's hardwood forest. So, though the popularity and sightings of these creatures began to fade, the legends of them didn't. To this day, many believe you can still hear the Squonk's cries in the forest while roaming the hemlock woods under the moonlight around twilight or dusk. Now, this is one of those cryptids. There's not a lot to it, but it's so classic. So we're really kind of... I did what I could to make this like 9 pages, which is a lot. It's like a precursor. Because there's really... It's like one of those where you find the same 4 paragraphs on every site.
It's a quality over quantity cryptid.
Yes, 100%. So, though I wasn't able to find out why it was even called the Squonk, I was able to find the supposed scientific name of the creature, which is Lacrima cropus dissolvens. So this breaks down to the Latin words for tear, body, and dissolve, which refers to the Squonk's strange supernatural ability. It also doesn't have any nicknames. It's like just the Squonk. There's nothing else to it. Like I couldn't even find like weeping tear pig or anything.
I mean, yeah,
it's
how
just
do you shorten Squonk? Also, that's
Sadma,
like definitely
yeah.
sounds like to me like a Rick and Morty like made up name.
100%. Sounds like some weird alien from the show.
I don't know,
no,
Squonk.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I can't explain it. Normally, I could find like where the name will come from, but I feel like American folklore is just like, that's just what we call it.
We made it up.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They're like, let's just throw some letters together and see what happens, you know, see if it sticks. But that's all I got for Origins. So I'm gonna hand it over to Ryan. He doesn't have a lot either for his segment, but he's got a short story and
but it's great.
Two famous sightings, so
I should have cued some like sad royalty-free music. Chris,
I wish
if you're listening, cue sad royalty-free music right now. The Squonk is so sad. In the dark forest it cries because of its looks. In my yard lives Squonk. If I tell it it's pretty, it becomes water. My good friend the Squonk wears a bag on his head because he's ugly. So once again, they just gave up on the poem. Like, I don't know, because he's ugly. That was Mr. JP Squonk. Hunt.
For all those playing the sweet, sad violin music, you can stop it now.
Hopefully, I don't know about you guys, but that really brought a tear to my eye. As I said, a very relatable cryptid to everyone. So, all right, this one is Paul Bunyan and the Squonk.
Oh no, you skipped one.
Oh, did I? No, I didn't. Oh wait. Oh shoot, I did. This is Mr. JP Squonk. Okay, sorry. The first...
The poem was by Rachel Cross.
Yeah, my bad. I'm all sorts of mixed up. So the first sighting of the Squonk was found in Cox's book and is believed to take place sometime during the early 19th century. A man by the name of Mr. J.P. Wentling, formerly of Pennsylvania, but now of St. Anthony Park, Minnesota, had a disappointing experience with the Squonk near Mont Alto. One day, while hunting down a Squonk, Wentling was able to coax this creature into walking into his bag by mimicking the Squonk so it would feel safe. That's kind of messed up. Once it hopped into the sack, he quickly closed the bag and began carrying it home. But here's where things begin to go south. As Wentling's heads back home, his sack starts to become lighter and weeping from the creature stops. Out of curiosity, Wentling opened the bag only to be surprised that the sad creature had completely dissolved into a pool of liquid and bubbles. Poor guy.
So,
once again, because he's ugly.
Yeah. I think it's just funny to me because I know, like, when I want a cat to come near me, I go, but, like, could you imagine if I tisked a cat over and then I snatched it with a bag?
Every time you called your, like, pet a cute little guy, just water.
You just snatch them in the bag.
Yeah. Every day when I call Pablo a sweet little angel baby, he just...
he hops in a sack and you just take him
turns
over.
to water. So now we're on Paul Bunyan and the Squonk.
Yeah.
In Paul Bunyan and his Great Blue Ox, 1926, Paul and his men are stalled in cutting timber when one hears a queer wailing some distance away. One of the men starts to mimic the crying sound, but the more he mimics the wailing, the closer the strange sounds get. Then, when Paul noticed an elusive Squonk getting closer and closer, thinking quickly, because he is Paul Bunyan, he was able to apprehend the unsuspecting Squonk by luring it into, you guessed it, a bag. Quickly, Paul hollered at his fellow loggers and friends to come over and see the strange creature. He knew they would be thrilled to see it firsthand since they had only heard rumors of this creature. That's because the Squonk was quite aloof and would do everything in its power to avoid the nearby loggers. Fair enough. Excited, all the men huddled around the sack, and once Paul opened it, in their excitement, quickly faded. Because guess what? The Squonk became so distressed, it dissolved into nothing but a puddle of salt water and bubbles. So moral of the story, stop trying to catch cute little guys.
Just leave them alone.
Yeah, just leave them alone. Like,
leave the Squonks alone.
Yeah. If everybody just got together and stopped trying to harass this poor, beautiful creature, maybe there'd be more of them. But also don't call it beautiful because, according to Rachel Cross, it might also turn into water. So
just leave her alone.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, this is my first time learning about Paul Bunyan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, Ryan would love this, so I'll put him on a future Patreon pool. But he pretty much just sounds like the folklore lumberjack American figure.
Yeah, I'm shocked you haven't heard of Paul Bunyan. I had to do like a essay on him in elementary school.
Oh yeah, I moved a lot in elementary schools.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that was one of the. It's like that's one of like the American folklores. Like the man cuts down whole forests with his axe.
Yeah, I thought he was so cool. I was like, this guy's an icon. And of course, I don't know the lore, so maybe that'll change once I read
I smell a future episode.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really cool, but I was reading it, and then I just did a quick read of some of his other stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was a shorter one, seeing if I could throw him in. I'm like, nah, boy needs his own. But it seems like anything that at the time that was wow in stories, there's a Paul Bunyan version of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If that makes sense. Because there was the Mr. JP Squonk Hunt, and then like honestly, Paul Bunyan sounds so much the same, you know. And
everything
I was like,
just
oh,
got
that's
turned
cool.
into Paul Bunyan by whoever the author of Paul Bunyan is.
Yeah, all the stories that were like ooh like were turned into Paul Bunyan at the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is so
we could
cool.
definitely do a full Paul Bunyan episode because there's a lot. I mean, we did a whole like month-long thing about Paul Bunyan in elementary
Really?
school. So I mean, that was a long time ago, but
See, this can I tell you what I learned from elementary school? Two things I remember from elementary school. I had a teacher that made us write in a Harry Potter journal, and I hated every second of it because I did not like writing and she didn't make it fun. And the second is she put me, I wasn't the smartest peanut. I had a very low reading level. I'm all charisma, baby. And I was put into like the dumb kid group. And when we did like the pioneer, we did like a pioneer like where we traveled to Utah kind of thing. And I was put in like the dumb kid group, and we didn't know anything about the pioneers or the traveling. She wanted to do it before, and we did everything wrong in that. We like took the shortcuts that got us killed and murdered. Jeez. We took every wrong turn in that.
Strange elementary school lesson. What a weird state, just all together, I guess.
Oh, third thing, I used to sell little mini geckos for 25 cents made out of beads. So I can get, like, bead treats.
I thought you were out there catching geckos, bringing them to school and selling them for a quarter.
Too, but I didn't sell them at school. But I made little beaded geckos and I'd sell them for 25 cents. And I was so successful at it, the principal made it so I couldn't do it anymore.
That's when you start an underground black market.
She was like, they're distracting to the class. And now I'm like, boo, you whore.
Yeah.
I was like, I was selling them during recess. You're fine.
And you know what else we're selling?
Whoa, what are we selling?
During this break. Oh. Let's get to the break. And boy, oh boy, do we got some stuff. What do we got today? Oh, we got mugs. We got all sorts of mugs. You know, summer is coming to an end. Hopefully, God knows it needs to be soon because I'm dying. And you know what that means? It's time for some motherfucking hot cocoa and some tea and coffee that's not iced.
Cider.
And cider. And if you want to put it in a cool cup that makes all of your friends say, damn, that cup's way cooler than my boring ass mug that I'm using today, go to aloreingshop.com. Because we got the mugs.
Yeah. You know what's better than the world's greatest dad mug?
Mm-hmm.
A MILF mug.
A MILF
and he will love it so much more.
Yeah.
We can promise that.
We know your dad's looking at the Mothman, you know? You don't gotta deny it. And he's like, damn, that's a MILF right there.
And he's not going to get it for himself. You have to get it for him. That's just how,
he's too
it
shy.
has to happen.
Yeah.
He's too shy.
Yeah, Father's Day's passed. Never mind. Scratch that.
You just get it for whomever your guardian is. Yeah. You know? Just like a little love. Get your you can go get all your holiday shopping done today.
Literally today. Done. And then you have months to just not worry about it.
And while everyone's freaking out in the mall, you can be like, I can't hear you as you sip from one of your Aloreing themed mugs
I got
that
mugs
you purchased
for all my friends because I'm better than you. Yeah, so that is once again aloreingshop.com. Get the mug. It's better than the mug you're currently drinking out of, guaranteed.
100%.
Back to the show?
Okay. Yeah, back to the show.
I'd like to point out Kimmy picked the 30-second wolf howl. That wasn't me.
It's actually a radio sound when I do the audio episode edits.
Oh.
So it's a radio sound effect. It's like you went off the owl train, not the owl, the wolf train when we did the Hellhound episode. And
yeah.
You haven't recovered.
The wolf is it.
The wolf is in all of us.
Mm-hmm. I got that dog in me.
The wolf sounds for the lore report is what it is.
The wolf's for everything.
We just did that Hellhound episode, and ever since then, Ryan's never turned back.
Got that Hellhound in me.
Welcome back, campers. We hope you enjoyed that little break. You bought a little beaded gecko or some Aloreing merch,
Maybe a mug.
Both help the Aloreing economy. So now we're going to talk about the appearance and some little fun facts about the Squonk. So, this cryptid, appearance-wise, is probably one of the homeliest cryptids we've come across.
So sad.
So everyone, I want you to close your eyes unless you're driving. Just like maybe close one if it's safe. I don't know. Unless you just have one good eye.
Or if you're driving a self-driving car.
Yeah. If you're driving a self-driving car, our shop is aloreingshop.com. You can donate at patreon.com/Aloreing.
But what if they're listening in the future when like self-driving cars aren't like expensive?
In this economy? No way. You've seen Elon Musk. That's never happening. Yeah, with this government, Ryan. We gotta have a purge before that happens. Let's be realistic. If people are listening to this during the purge,
she's saying, if you're listening, owners of YouTube, I am not calling for a purge. That is Kimmy alone. Please don't ban our channel. Just Kimmy.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, remember to vote. So everyone go back to closing your eyes. Let's get back on track. I want you to picture little piggy, but make it have wrinkly, ill-fitting skin similar to a bulldog. And it's less and more the skin is covered from head to toe in warts. It has cauliflower ears and is covered in wax and patchy spots of hair. And it has 2 yellow tusks that are large and crooked. So, one of the strangest things about this creature is the fact that its right hind leg, or some legends say left, is transparent. Older legends describe the Squonk as having 4 visible legs, but as the lumberjacks took the hemlock forest down and it became more swampy, the Squonk had to adapt. Its right hind leg developed webbing between its toes to make swimming the water easier. But the cryptid definitely didn't get the lucky feet in life, and it resulted in the evolutionary fin foot. Sorry, I hit my bag, so I like to fully cut that off. Let me say that again. But this cryptid definitely didn't get the lucky feet in life, and the result of this evolutionary fin foot causes the Squonk to merely go in circles when it tries to swim in the swampy waters.
Tragic.
And sometimes this is how it dies.
Just rowing on one side. Never switching.
Yeah.
Poor
just
guy.
Crying, rowing on
what
one
a sweet
side.
Baby.
It's a lot like summer camp when you have to be in the kayak by yourself, and you just row on one side.
Yeah.
A little sad because you're alone.
Turn into water.
So, on top of looking like the saddest creature roaming around the forest, it acts like one too. The Squonk is a sad boy icon, coming off as bashful and an unhappy creature. While roaming the forest under the moonlight, it will see its reflection in the water, and feeling ashamed of its grotesque appearance, it will weep. It also feels that it is so ugly, it will do everything in its power to hide out of plain sight, having the only way you can see this creature is by following its tear-stained trail.
Oh my god.
It's just the saddest thing ever. Its cries have been described as a low note of pleading somewhat resembling the call of a cross-feathered snee. I wasn't able to find any sound bits of what either of these creatures sound like, so I don't know if you have any idea of what the squonk would sound like. Yeah, that's perfect. I was like trying to think.
Something like that.
Ryan really got into it for a second. I was like, oh yeah, that's good. And he's like, give me my Oscar.
I just think that everyone listening can agree this is the most relatable cryptid we've ever had. Hands down.
Yeah, no, this is... I have a hard time with the appearance, but I get everything else about it. Like, I get it.
Yeah, it's just a self-conscious little guy.
I've been there.
And deep down inside, we're all just self-conscious little guys.
Oh yeah, that's me 7 days out every month, you know? Like, that's where I'm at with it. That's
Only
me.
7?
That's me right now. Only 7.
Rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers.
Baby, 365.
24/7.
And 366 on leap year.
You're like, those are rookie numbers.
Yeah,
rookie numbers.
Those numbers up. I need some more self-image issues. Therapist is gonna have a field day with this one.
Yeah, I was like, wow, there's your future therapists are going to listen to this and be like,
we got some unpacking to do.
They'll be like, Ryan, how do you feel? You're like, I feel great. And they're like, well, in episode 53 of Aloreing, at timestamp,
do you
50?
think you're a squonk?
They show you a picture of the squonk and you next to it, and they're like, what do these two creatures have in common? And I just wait.
I just turn into water.
You just turn into a puddle. On fun, more delightful squonk fact, it is believed it can reproduce in a binary fission, which means asexual reproduction.
Good
so, listen, if
you don't
they
need,
think
you
they're
don't need no man, no woman, independent king.
You don't need no one but your own to keep that bloodline running, you know. So, onto some little fun kind of like things around the squonk.
When mommy squonk and a daddy squonk see each other, when they try to swim towards each other, they just get stuck in circles and they just can't quite reach each other, so they had to evolve.
You know what it is? The zodiac sign Pisces is 2 fish going in a circle, but the cryptid version of it is 2 squonks going in a circle.
Yeah. Just never
always
touching.
chasing each other, but never touching.
Yep, so they had to figure something out.
They're like, we're in the water already.
Yeah.
Let's just hope something comes from it.
Let's see what happens. Let nature take its course.
They're like, well, this will never happen, so let's see what evolution will do for us. So, you may be asking yourself, with all these sightings and first-hand encounters of this little fella, how has no one been able to capture him? Well, that is because he is one slippery boy. So, being an emotional mess that constantly weeps, hunters, woo!
I mean, we're not here to judge. Could be both.
It could be both. Listen, what you do in the forest, as long as it's consensual, like, good for you. Hunters who are good at tracking are able to easily follow the squonk by its tear-stained trails. But tracking this creature down. Lord, why can't I speak? Oh my goodness. Let me try that again. Sorry, Chris. But tracking this creature down isn't the problem. Capturing it is. Once the squonk realizes it is cornered, unable to escape, scared, or surprised, it will dissolve into a pool of tears and bubbles. So this makes it extremely difficult to capture the cryptid. Many hunters will even capture the creature under the moonlight, since for some reason it moves extra slow under the moonlight, and they believe it's because it's seeing its reflection, and it gets sadder with each reflection it sees. So it like mopes even more. But those who are even lucky enough to get it in a bag and carry it home will deal with this creature dissolving into a puddle of tears before they make it back. So, for all our listeners, I know we said leave this boy alone, but if you want to go hunting for the squonk, you still can.
Don't do it.
And you know what? I believe in you. I believe you can capture one. And Ryan says no, but I got some hunting tips for you. Because we know I'm the best hunter.
I disavow this segment.
So, hunting season for Pennsylvania's woods runs from October 1st to the start of firearm season for deers and bears. No, just hold on. Just let me finish. I am a professional, right, Ryan. Yeah. I've been hunting a few times. Okay. I grew up in the country by the creek. Yeah. I've skinned fish. I've gone fishing. So though I wasn't able to confirm on pgc.pa.gov, which is like a hunter website for Pennsylvania, by the way, there are rumors that a hunter is allowed one squonk per year, and if they capture the creature, it must be tagged and reported to the State Game Commission. Now, knowing everything we do, my one word of advice is take a giant jar with you, like a giant pickle jar, because it's going to turn into tears. And I feel like once it turns into tears, people just leave it alone, and maybe it forms back. Because we don't know if it dies when it turns into a puddle or not.
That's true.
Or if a baby comes from it. So, if you just put it in a jar, go hunt a squonk. That's all I can say.
I would like to counter by saying perhaps a large sponge. Because what if you drop your bag and the jar breaks, then the squonk's just everywhere. If you get one of those big yellow sponges, that like car wash sponges, you know, just put it in the bag. It's going to soak up the squonk. Then when you get home, you can wring them into a fresh jar that's not in danger of breaking. Just a thought.
Yeah, you can put them in the tub.
Yeah, exactly. It's Schrodinger's squonk, though, because the second you see the squonk, it's going to turn back into water when you go into your bathroom. So the squonk
most horrifying bathroom.
Yeah, if you dump the squonk into your bathtub and never go back into that bathtub, you always have a squonk, and you also never have a squonk.
I just love the idea of large sponge sales dramatically increasing in Pennsylvania during hunting season, and they're like, why can't we figure this out? Like, the marketing team is losing their minds.
You're welcome, Johnson & Johnson.
The only support they'll get from us is that little thing.
Get some loofahs.
Get some loofahs. So another major influence of squonk folklore is location. So Pennsylvania forests got some eerie vibes, which made it perfect breeding ground for folklore and urban legends to be discussed amongst lodgers who worked in the area. From bears to cryptids and ghosts, it seems like the Pocono Mountains especially had something extra spooky about it that made it the perfect place for American folklore to be born. Plus, with all the different monsters that lurked under the moonlight, the Squonk would be the least of anyone's worries. So there's a lot of absolutely terrifying creatures, and the Squonk is like the palate cleanser of cryptids in the area, I'd like to say. Like, just a cute, sad little guy just roaming the forest, you know? And now, not only does location play a major factor into the Squonk sightings, but so does Pennsylvania's lumber history. During the early 19th century, Pennsylvania was famous for its timber and hunting industry, though many other U.S. states were also experiencing a lumber industry boom at the time. There's something about Pennsylvania's eerie wilderness and unknown creatures that led to great storytelling. Lodgers worked long hours and would share stories with one another of what they saw lurking through the hemlock forest. It wasn't long until everyone knew a strange, creepy creature roaming through the woods. From the Squonk to Bigfoot, or even the, I think it's pronounced hug-ag, there was something around every corner. Plus, with all of these oral legends floating around, it wasn't long until they were written down. William T. Cock, the author of Fearsome Creatures of the Lumber Woods and Fearsome Critters, went into great detail about the different creatures talked about between lumberjacks, hunters, and lodgers. Not only does this book share some of the joyful encounters and stories told during a hard day's work, but it's also a great example of a book that preserves the folklore of lumberjacks at the time. So, William worked at the United States Forest Service before becoming the state forester and commissioner of conservation in Minnesota. During this time, he was constantly in contact with lodgers and did what he could to preserve the wonder of the legends told amongst lodgers. As machines took over, the need for human lumberjacks faded. Today, working as a lumberjack isn't as poppin' as a career path as it used to be, but the legends still live on as a major part of North American folklore. And I didn't include it, but one thing with William is he saw how bad the deforestation was. So that's why he wanted these stories, and that's why everyone was so keen on telling these stories, because they didn't want to lose the forest and the wonder of the North American folklore, which is really cool. So this was his way to preserve it, to be like, hey, you can't take away all the woods because we need stories, you know? And I really enjoy that. So that was a lot of an information dump, so I'm gonna take a sip real quick.
I looked up the what was it called? The Hugag or Hugag. It is terrifying. It's like a moose with a platypus face, and like elephant ears.
You want to know the worst part about it? Its legs don't bend. It just walks.
I see that. It kind of walks like
a Barbie, you know?
Yeah. The Hugag is how you say it. Hugag. What an absolute monstrosity.
You would honestly, that's one of the folklore books I feel you would super enjoy. Is that Fearsome Critter one? I need to find a way to get a hold of that one, because that's right up your alley. It's Western lodger folklore. Okay.
Now for Liquor and Lore, everybody.
Liquor and Lore. Go to our Patreon. Again, if you have a hybrid car, our Patreon. Okay, Ryan, now it's time for our favorite segment. And by ours, I mean my favorite segment. It is time for Is It Science or the Church?
So this week, I think I'm going to go with science, because I think it's just going to be just a really ugly pig, and there's going to be some like disease in like the Pennsylvania forest that like causes pigs to get ugly.
Yeah. Well, listen, there wasn't a lot I can, was it like red herring?
Red herring, yeah. The church wasn't brought up once today.
Yeah, I think this is like one of our first episodes.
You son of a bitch.
You did it, though. You did it, Ryan. You're really getting up there. I'm going to have to start throwing another segment in there.
6 in a row?
No, don't be that confident.
I'm going to have to go back and look, because it feels like 6 in a row.
definitely isn't.
Give me one
Maybe
more.
like 3.
It's at least 3. For sure 3.
At least 3. For sure 3. Yeah, I need
Just the best there is, kind of simple.
I need to do science or the church or like paranormal or something. I gotta throw like a 3rd one in just to shake it up sometimes, you know?
I like that, yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to see. This one's always I either have a lot or I have absolutely nothing, so. Alright. Now, a few cryptozoologists believe that the squonk could be nothing more than some malformed wild boars. You were right on it.
Dang.
Yeah, that's why I let you clap twice. You can do a 3rd one if you really feel like it.
Quiet one.
Yeah, I know.
Good job, everybody else who got it right in their cars.
Cast your votes at home.
Yeah.
So since there are no modern day sightings of the squonk and this creature was always seen from a great distance, we could just have a common problem of poor eyesight from overworked lumberjacks. Which is fair. Mm-hmm. Of course, this doesn't explain the whole puddle upon capture problem, so I like to believe in the sad old squonk and that it's still roaming around the hemlock forest till this very day. Again, very short. Couldn't get a lot, so that's all I got.
Because it's time for Modern Takes with Ryan. And this time, the modern take actually comes from the future. Because turns out there is an event called Squonkapalooza, which is happening. This episode comes out in like 2 days, so it's happening in like 2 weeks from you listening to this episode.
Wow, that was a wonderful timing.
Yeah. August 26th in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, there's a whole ass festival dedicated to the squonk and just all like Appalachian, Pennsylvania folklore. It looks pretty dope, not gonna lie. Squonkapalooza.com is the website. And fun little fact, Lisa from Cryptid Comforts is hosting the event. You may know her from the one that made the adorable little camp counselor Mothman plushie that we gave away a while back. But yeah,
if I remember, I'll put a picture and post.
Yeah, it'll be right here. But yeah, it looks like there's gonna be all sorts of folklore games. They have speakers there. They have a DJ, I believe. There's all sorts of stuff. It looks like a good time. I honestly wish I wasn't on the West Coast, or I would go if this happens again next year. We're gonna have to make a trip because I've always wanted to go to Pennsylvania, and also this seems like the best festival ever.
Oh, and Lisa's so cute.
Yeah.
Excuse me. She like has a squonk costume she puts on.
Yeah, I was looking at the Instagram, and there's just pictures like all over town in the squonk costume. And I love just everything about it. So if you live anywhere near I hope it's Johnstown. I hope I'm saying that right. Pennsylvania. But you should go, and please send us photos because I really want to see, and I'll see you in 2024.
Yeah, maybe. You know, this is why I'm manifesting nothing but good stuff for us for next year, because I would love if we could get enough funding where we could go to one of these and just have like a booth there. I think that would be just super fun. And we can do the booth there to help fund the trip.
Yeah.
But then we can go like just hang out. I think it would be super fun. So
yeah, so
we'll manifest
that is
it.
Squonkapalooza. Squonkapalooza. Google it and please go because I want to see.
Yeah, more cryptid events. We don't get any on the West Coast.
Not really.
And it kills me.
Well, because all the good American folklore comes from back east, which makes sense. It's been around a lot longer. I mean, we have like Bigfoot out here. That's about it.
We have more alien stuff. We should. Well, that's the thing. There's more like aliens. I feel like the West Coast because it's Arizona, you know. But it's just like, can we just have like an alien festival in Arizona or something? I don't know.
One in Roswell, but yeah,
to see.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna go to Pennsylvania next year, so hopefully Squonkapalooza happens again.
It looks amazing. This she grows it so much each year too, so it's so amazing. There's so many talented artists at it. So yeah, go check it out. Okay.
August 26th.
Yeah. Take pictures. Let us live vicariously through you. Wear an Aloreing shirt while you're there for us.
Yeah.
So we can feel like we're there.
Yeah. Should we get some announcements?
Yeah. Time for the lore report. This is when you do the wolf howl. This is when. There you go.
Hey guys, submit your fan art. We've been getting some of the most lovely fan art from our listeners, which has been really cool. And to show our love, we now have a fan arts and craft corner on our website, aloreing.com. Go check it out to see what some of our talented campers are doing. We got cross stitch, we got digital illustrations, paintings, literally everything. And if you are like me and just don't have not a single bit of artistic craft in your bones, and you've been thinking, hey, I have some fan art I want to send. Sorry, if you're not like me, is what I was trying to say. I just forgot a word. You can send some of our fan art, your fan art, to us. You can send it via email or to our P.O. box for a chance to be featured on our website. Or our email is aloreing.com, aloreing@gmail.com. And our P.O. box is, ready? Listen, write it down. Pull over if you're driving. 1935 South, 1100 East. P.O. Box 522001, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84152. But yeah, so hopefully all of you are more crafty than me, and I know you are. So send it in. Do it. Especially mail us stuff. I would love to get more stuff from the post. We like to touch
the post office box. Yes, I love when people come over and they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, you mean my fan art from my podcast?" Oh, it's no big deal. It's just the coolest thing ever. So that's super fun. And then we can brag about it and put it online as well. So just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. I'll even accept stick figure UFO art.
That's all I got.
Okay. Speaking of art, we have also gone back to our Aloreing roots. We have reached deep, and we have been posting art challenges on our Discord. So if you are wanting to stretch those creative muscles and create something Aloreing, then head over to our Discord channel today. It's a fun little community of cryptid and folklore lovers that would love to see your art projects. So if you have a cryptid art or folklore art you're working on, it's a great place to share it because you have all the people there that are into both of those things. So it's kind of a great little way to spread the word, do a little self-promo, let us see what you're working on, all that good stuff.
Community.
Yeah, and Ryan also posts about his horror podcast there, so go check it out today. Direct links for Discord invite can be found at aloreing.com/links. All email address, P.O. box can also be found at aloreing.com. So we got everything you want right there. That's all. That's all for the lore report. I always feel like I need paper to shuffle. Perfect.
And I would like to say I only put mine in a little bit because I wanted people to be able to see it, but if I could put mine off the chart, it would go all the way because the Squonk is too pure for this world.
You got a good boy.
Such a good guy.
That's all. That's all it is. It's just we both put him at straight up good. We did neutral.
Yeah.
Because
not enough about it to know whether it's chaotic or lawful. Though I will say, evolving to swim in circles is pretty chaotic, if you ask me.
It's more pathetic than chaotic, but
well, it could be two things at once.
That's fair. They can both exist in the same space. I just absolutely love the idea of the squonks swimming in little circles together. Yeah. Like, I think it's kind of cute.
And they're like, well, we give up.
Yeah, I get been there.
On our own. Two
this
webbed feet lovers. Star-crossed webbed feet lovers.
Well, that looks like it's going to be the next Valentine's Day shirt. Two web foot lovers. It's like only others can. You'll find someone that sees your true inner beauty or something really corny like that. Aw, well, yeah, it's weird when the Aloreing alignment chart just goes so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, just go. Yeah, what else is there to say about this little guy, you know?
Yeah. If you think he's chaotic or evil, tell us. We will disagree with you, but you can still tell us.
If you put it evil, I don't trust you. I think is a safe thing to say.
You're like, suspicious. All right. So now let's get out of here. Let's talk about our 2 episode takeaways. You want to go first this time, since I totally railroaded you last time?
Sure. If you're out in Pennsylvania, carry around a ultra absorbent sponge, perhaps a ShamWow.
and swim in circles to find your lover.
Yep. Those are the 2.
Woo! All right. Thank you all so much for listening. This has been Aloreing.
You just have the most alluring day ever. Go get yourself a little squonky guy, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Miss you.